I think that's the problem with combat. Especially like watching combat like this. It's like, what can I talk about? I hit him with the sword. I did it again. I dodged. I blocked my attack. Oh dear. I'm using Quen quite well. I mean, that's an interesting thing. It's just like, if I compare it back to The Witcher 1, I used Hunter's Armor. Brilliant. I think I've already gotten rid of it. If I think back, I think the spell I used most was Igni. And now I look at I think I never really used Quen. I think I used Diertan less. But I used Igni. Trying to think of the order. Igni, Akshi, Ard, Quen, Irdan. And I think probably now it's Quen, Akshi, Irdan, Igni, Ard. Last you could interchangeable. It's quite interesting to think about that. Oh, and I didn't actually read those notes because I was thinking about something else. That's annoying. But I assume that's where he's saying, I know that you're going to kill me, Thorak, and be sure that if you find these notes, then you've killed me. And if you've killed me, I will come back and get you, or I will have my revenge, whether by my hand or someone else's. And it ended up being us. And we've got Thorak's key, so the logical conclusion is to head to Thorak's little house, or at least the area he was working, and have a go. I think the reason I was confused with swords, thinking to it, is in The Witcher 1, he pulls out the last sword he used. If you tell him to pull out a sword. Whereas in this one, he's a bit more intelligent with which sword to grab. I think. Yeah, grabbing everything. But still, red dot, I'm confused. Yeah, the red dots seem to linger around a bit, even after they've been killed. So we're heading back to Vergen. At least that's the plan. I assume in theory you could attack the trolls. I'm just thinking about it. Just the fact I could have my sword out, I could probably attack them. I mean, I wouldn't, but I'm assuming I could. Yeah, find a lock compatible with Thorak's key, so find the lock that the key fits. I wonder how long this session was. I'm just trying to think, like, if I think about how long it was, that would allow me to think about cutting, and when I should be silent. So I get to think about that. I could in theory think about that a bit more, but I'm not going to, because that will require me to fiddle around with the video player I'm using for this. So back to Vergen, and having a few problems loading, it seems. Yeah. Interesting. This game doesn't often have that. It's often a lot smoother. So I don't know what the problem is. A few random things, just checking to see if there's anything there that I'm looking to see if there's anything I can get rid of. Maybe I'm thinking about various bits and bobs up in there. Little things like that I can't remember why I did, where I'm sure that at the time it made perfect sense. Like, maybe I was looking to see if there were any of those diagrams I could sell, or maybe seeing if any of them were particularly useful. So, you know, we're heading up to Thorak's little office area, his forge, and I'm a little confused which direction to go. I think I may have gotten lost a few times in this session. Now that's not Thorak's house, that's Philippa's. But I paused because I wasn't sure. And then here's Cecil Burden's. And then to the left of that is Baltimore's. There we go. And up above is Thorak's, or at least that's where Thorak is now. No one is around because people killed them. we've killed them all. There we go. I can put things in the right order. And I suddenly realise, hang on, what if it's trapped? Or I thought. Oh, some cards there. Grab the sword because he's not going to need it. Ah, Alkin's receipt. So a new journal entry about the poisoning priest. We have a look at this. I received the ordered chalice and am forwarding the first payment as agreed. No, however, the ornamentation was sloppily executed. The object as a whole looks shoddy and is hardly identical to the original. If the item ultimately serves its purpose and my needs, you will receive the remainder of your remuneration immediately after the council. Alkin. So the logical conclusion to that is that Alkin is responsible using this this chalice, this new chalice, in some way. So that chalice was obviously used to kill Saskia. So the question then becomes, what was that doing? I'm just comparing the sword, and actually the new sword, the diagram we've just found, is better. It does more damage. I think it doesn't have some of the extra effects. This is the thing with talking like this is I'm missing stuff that I'm bringing up. Alright, past me was bringing up, and you can probably see it, things like that. You can see what's happening in here. I'm looking for the poisoning priest because apparently he doesn't have another name. It's Alkin. So we're going to go and have a look. Let's scroll down. This annoys me. I think I comment on this that the thing it's saying, oh, you've read these. It's like, I've not read these. I'm reading this. Alkin, the priest from Prince Stennis' retinue, turned out to be directly responsible for the poisoning of Saskia. The clergyman apparently thought that a heavy dose of Thormador would be more effective than prayer or excommunication. Unfortunately, because he was already dead, he could not answer for his deed. But the question that still remains, is Stennis guilty? Is Stennis responsible? And I think I go and do something to have a think about it. Oh, I think I go back to Elfin. Do I? Oh no, I'm crafting stuff first. I go crafting.
I wouldn't mind.
Yep, craft. So we do a bit of crafting. We get ourselves our new silver sword. Oh no, I have to click on it. So we get ourselves our new sword. Which uses all of our silver ore, but it's better than what we currently have. And it still has the wolf head. I don't know if that's a thing with all silver swords, or because this is essentially a witcher's sword, or maybe it's swords that I have crafted. Yeah, so I decide to go back and visit him. Oh, no, I noticed that I need to go and tell Cecil. So I go and do that first. And then head out to visit Elfin. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm also kind of thinking about Stennis. Like, what do you do? Because the thing that, what I know hasn't happened is that Stennis is essentially lynched. So I can't assume that that's going to happen. I can't act based on that knowledge. I have to act based on the evidence and knowledge I have. I think I stopped to think about that. And the question becomes, what do you do with that? So, obviously, Alkin's responsible, but he's part of Stennis' retinue. Was it at some kind of misguided loyalty? This will protect him?
By the pricks of the male gods! Master Baltimore's notes! Where did you get them?
I discovered his vault near the troll's lair. By the way, Thorak, your new rune master, is dead. He and his 2 apprentices have left for a better world.
Or worse.
What? How did it happen?
Hello.
Thorak murdered Baltimore. There's enough evidence in the notes I just gave you.
Thanks, Witcher. A reward for your labours. It's not much, but I'll be needing funds to appoint and equip a new rune master now.
Well, the last 2 have both died horribly. So, I don't know. Maybe you rejected Voldemort at some point. Ooh, new sword. Gwaihir. Windlord. which does, I think, more up. Yeah, it does more damage. Well, on average, it'll do more damage. Does the same amount of bleeding. Don't have the poison, but don't particularly using poison that much. It's shiny. I wonder if that is the case. That swords you're given or swords you find just have any old top, any old hilt, or if and the ones you craft have the wolf. I don't know. I'm sure I'm commenting on the frame rate by the look of it. This is the problem, is I can't actually comment on the frame rate because I don't know what it is. But it doesn't look nice. That's the benefit of having Bandicam on.
So, thought it over. I'm on my way to the recruiting station.
So I'm looking through what other quests have we got, and actually, there's only 2 quests that we can currently do. See Elthan, or go and deal with Stennis. And I think I wanted to take a little break out from what I was going to, what my decision, kind of just to think through the decision I was going to make with Stennis. So I'm going to go and visit Elthan.
You hugged a bear or what?
What? So I'm selling things, so we can do that. And while that's happening, I can talk of... so, Stennis. So, Ulcan, in theory, he could have just... he could have just done it out of a misguided sense of protecting... his prince, Prince Stennis. But, I'm not sure I like that. Stennis had a lot to gain out of it, obviously. And so... it would make sense for him to be responsible for it, rather than... I don't need that many eyes. Rather than him just quietly sitting back. Doesn't seem to make much sense. Or to me, it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So... But of course, I can't pretend, or I can't... I've got to try and roleplay it out that I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll probably talk about it in more detail as the cutscene's happening. Although I don't know how long I've got for each little section to kind of talk through my thoughts, which is the problem
Look,
with with the post-recording of the commentary. I put my swords in storage because I want to keep them, just in case. And I managed to pace through a door. Hooray! I'm kind of managing my inventory. It's hovering around the 220.
Don't try anything.
But that's probably because I've got a lot of various random herbs and whatnot. Just if I ever want to do alchemy. I should probably sell some of the alchemy stuff. I'm not using it. And once again, we're walking out of Vergen, and I'm not entirely sure what to say. It's like... we're visiting Elthan. Don't think we're going to be fighting too much. I don't think you fight anything on the way to Elthan. Which I suppose is due to Elthan's safety. Sorry. This is the thing, if you can't think of anything, you just stop punning, or I just stop punning at times. Yeah. I'm not even just quiet because I'm controlling it. I want to be saying stuff. Ooh, music stopped. Why did music stop? I don't think I fight anyone, do I? No. Okay.
Yes, you're beautiful, my queen, my lady. You're a wondrous sight. All in your nest envy you.
I don't need this feather. Please take it.
Nice weather we're having, isn't it?
Pretty warm for this time of year.
It is colder usually, isn't it?
The mages must be up to something.
Oh, yes. They devise with experiments. Always changing the world. They'll botch it one day, and it'll be the end of us, I tell you.
I shudder to even think about it. I want you to have this feather. I have no use for it.
No, thank you. Neither do I.
Neither does this collector, you mean?
Yes, neither does he.
I wonder why he needed a specific number of feathers.
Perhaps to match the number of empty spaces in his feather album.
Don't see how that would matter.
It's immensely important.
Well, I guess I don't know much about collections.
Swords. Clearly. Right. So that's an interesting end to a quest. Right. So that's finished. So the only quest we have left that we can deal with at the moment is the Royal Blood. I'm not a fan of this, thinking about it in The Witcher 1. I'm going through them. I can't do anything about hatred yet. Returning memories, that's just wait and see what happens. I'm reading through that, aren't I? I can see it from the cursor. Assassins of Kings, we're just waiting to see what we can do with Letho and Sheila. But it was something that happened in The Witcher 1, which was what you have to wait a bit. You have to wait some time for things to resolve. And I kind of like that quests are interlinked like that, but I'd prefer it if you didn't end up bottlenecked. If you do the side quests, especially with the fact like some of them get blocked off if you progress too far. So the only thing we've got left is Royal Blood. In this one, I heard Stennis talking to Ulcan, the priest he favoured. He even remembered one sentence: just call the servants out of the kitchen, nothing more. I didn't pick up on the phrase, the priest he favoured. I picked up on the just call the servants out of the kitchen. Because we don't know who said what. So it could have been either way. But the fact that he favoured Ulcan, maybe it's because he was more reliable, more discreet. So that's kind of my thought on that matter. Yeah, so that's me pointing out that just called the servants out of the kitchen, nothing more. Now that may have been Ulcan talking to Stennis. Stennis at least would have had some kind of suspicion.